So I decided to visit the deep web, the dark web, whatever the fuck it's called. You know what I'm talking about. The internet's lowest circle of hell. The place where pathologies abound, where pedophiles and drug dealers rub elbows with arms merchants and killers for hire. My purpose? Call it morbid curiosity. I was looking for the most extreme content I could find. I consider myself a student of the human condition and am fascinated by man's darker urges, his apparent hatred of himself. I wanted to plumb the depths of his depravity and see what I could find. I realize I sound like a sick bastard, and I guess that's true. But I'm also a family man, and I've no desire to hurt anyone. I simply wanted to see what was out there. Knowledge, for its own sake, or something. I come from a wealthy family, and have never known want. Money was never a problem for me. I figured I would have to pay for my curiosity, and load it up on web cash and Bitcoin. Several $1,000s worth. I won't detail to the directions of this dark web. If you have the desire, it only takes a little bit of research. You'll also want to use a throwaway computer, unless you're a little tech savvy. I was burned more than a few times, but I anticipated as much. After 2 weeks of searching and being continuously ripped off, I finally came across something pretty badass. I was looking for the so-called red rooms, and after some exchanges with a certain someone on a certain message board, I was provided with a link to a live stream. He assured me it was genuine and unlike anything I had ever seen. I've no doubt it was real. If you saw it, you would know. It costed me a mere $500. The camera displayed a room about the size of a large bedroom. Mulch covered the floor. What appeared to be a giant rock took up one corner. Opposite of this was a kid's swimming pool filled with water. Suddenly, a portion of the ceiling had disappeared, and a naked girl upside down was lowered into the room. She was suspended by the feet from what looked like giant forceps. Her hands were bound behind her back, and tape covered her mouth. I couldn't help but notice she had the cutest little rump. She was about 20 years old, maybe younger. Needless to say though, she was terrified. Nothing happened for a few seconds. Then, from under the rock, a head appeared. It was a snake. An anaconda, I believe. Slowly, very slowly, he emerged from his hide. Forked tongue tasting the air, the girl's eyes bulged from her head with the most profound terror I've ever seen. The snake continued his creeping advance. He was fucking huge. He had to be at least 30 feet long. His face rose to within inches of her, tongue darting in and out. He loomed above her, all coiled aggression. Mercifully, she fainted. Whatever was holding the forceps began to shake the girl, like someone dangling a toy in front of a cat. The snake's head pulled back slightly, tongue still flickering. He remained still for a few long seconds and then, without warning, he struck. His jaws clamped down on her throat, and his body whipped around her with tremendous speed. He took her to the floor and proceeded to squeeze the life from her as the giant forceps were lifted from the room and the ceiling panel replaced. I watched, stunned, as the snake uncoiled and released his teeth from her throat. He then unhinged his jaw and began to swallow her whole. The entire process took less than 5 minutes, and it was all bought and paid for by me. See you in hell, I guess.